What's happening? Oh, oh, Jesus. We'll just hide that back there. It's okay. Taylor, I really like your idea about doing a question every week. So I'm going to respond to your question about smoking. I'm going to go 100% full disclosure right now. I have tried a cigarette, so there's that. I've literally only done it once. I will never do it again. I do not understand how people smoke. I had just gotten over strep throat and I shared a cigarette with a friend, and then right after, like the next day, I got a sinus infection and she got my strep throat and had to go to the hospital. Other than the fact that it was the most disgusting thing I have ever, like, it was so gross. I do not understand how people do this all the time. Like, how do you put yourself through that? I actually kind of think that smoking cigarettes is a societal thing. As a sociology major, it's kind of my job to look at things like that, and I know you as a psych major look at the personal, but I look at society. I think the way that society looked at cigarettes when they first came out, how they were billed as like this really great thing, that hasn't necessarily stuck with the people, but has created this ideal that, you know, like only the cool kids smoke and all of these things that kind of sticks with you all through high school. I am really big on health and really big on being good to my body and all of those things. So smoking cigarettes for me is kind of like a huge negative. I have this really weird thing with the smell of cigarettes. Like, as you're smoking them, the smoke scent really bothers me, but I like the scent of them after they've been put out in an ashtray. I decay, man. I don't know. I think when you're younger, especially in high school and middle school, when you're still trying to fit in really and find your place in the world, smoking kind of gives you that. In my high school, we had this thing called the Smoker's Corner, where during lunch or during breaks and stuff, all of the smokers would go to the Smoker's Corner and they'd hang out and smoke cigarettes. And that was a group of people that they knew were always going to be there, that they knew they were always going to have that time with. And I think when you're struggling to make friends, or you already have friends but you want to like make more friends or seem cooler, smoking is something that you can do to do that. I also think as you get older, the implications of smoking change. Obviously, I'm not a smoker, so I'm kind of assuming these things. I might be completely incorrect, but I'm assuming that when you're younger and you start smoking, you're not thinking about, oh my god, I'm gonna get cancer, or oh my god, these are awful for me, what am I doing? You're thinking about, how can I fit in? That is also a reason I believe older people have a different view on smoking than younger people do. The way I view smokers personally, I wouldn't say that I feel bad or that it's unfortunate. I think I more or less understand that it's a personal decision, and that there were definitely reasons for that person deciding to pick up that cigarette and smoke it. So I don't think I pity people, or I feel bad, or I think they as themselves are bad people. I think my personal opinion on people who smoke is kind of non-existent. You know, I don't automatically have a judgment of someone if I'm walking down the street and I see someone smoking. Like, the only time I have an assumption about someone who smokes is if I know that person, or if, like, personally, if there's someone that I know personally, I will be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? But if it's someone just walking down the street in New York, the only reaction I'm gonna have is if you blow your smoke in my face. That's the only time I don't like it, but I don't have really an assumption of people or an attitude on people who smoke. So Taylor, I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, let me know and I will talk a little bit more about it. I really like the idea of having this question thing on Thursday. So whoever has their video on Thursday should pose the question for the next person. I don't think you should have to answer it on Friday. You could have the entire week to do it as long as it's done before you pose your question on Thursday. So I think even you could answer the question on Thursday and then pose the next question. I don't think that's a problem. So Taylor, next Thursday I'll be posing you a question. I hope that you enjoy it and I can come up with something fun. I don't think they always have to be so serious as this one. They could be silly or funny or other adjectives that I can't think of right now. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.